Good morning to all. In the previous class, we discussed about Anglo-Maratha Wars and Anglo-Mysore Wars. Okay? And in today's class, we will discuss about after those wars, what happened in our India. Okay? How the Britishers established their empire in our India. Okay? That is comes under part 3. Let's see now. See here. In late 1830s, that means at the end of 1830, here the East India Company became worried about Russia. That means Russia is one country. Okay? So these Britishers, that means the British East India Company, worried about Russia. Why? Because see this map. This is the Russian Empire. Okay, and this is India, and beside this Pakistan, Afghanistan are there. Okay, at that time Pakistan is present in our India only. Okay, so beside our India, Afghanistan is there, and here see this figure. What if that Russia expand its empire across Asia and enter India from northwest? See here, the Britishers are ruling in our India. They wanted to expand their kingdom in India, and at the same time they have one fear, that is there is a chance to expand the kingdom of Russia. See here, from here, the Russians can enter into India. Okay, through northwestern part. In this northwestern part, which country is present? Afghanistan. Okay, Afghanistan was not under the control of British rule. That's why the Britishers are thinking that the Russians can enter into this Afghanistan and they can occupy that Afghanistan, and after occupying Afghanistan there is a chance to enter in India also. Okay, that's why the Britishers are getting some fear. So driven by this fear, the Britishers now wanted to secure their control over the northwest. Okay, so to stop these Russians, the Britishers wanted to occupy this northwestern part. The Britishers wanted to occupy this northwestern part. If they occupy this northwestern part, then the Russians cannot enter into this part. Okay? So that's why the Britishers wanted to occupy this northwestern part. So for that purpose, here in the northwestern part, Afghanistan is in. So now the Britishers are ready to fight with the Afghanistan. They fought with the Afghanistan, and the Britishers occupied this Afghanistan entirely during these years. Okay, 1838 to 1842. Approximately 4 years they fought continuously with Afghanistanis, and the Britishers got that Afghanistan under their control. Okay, and established indirect company rule there. That means these Afghanistanis were defeated by the Britishers. That's why they agreed the rule of Britishers. This one. Next, after that, after Afghanistan, see, first Afghanistan 1842 they occupied, and after this Afghanistan they occupied Sindh also. Okay, na? Sindh, which is one place present in Pakistan side. Okay, na? Pakistan. In the year 1843, the Britishers occupied Sindh also. And after that Sindh, the Britishers occupied Punjab in the year 1849. To occupy this Punjab, the Britishers fought so many years with the Sikh kingdom. Okay, in Punjab Sikh people will live now. So that's why that kingdom is called as the Sikh kingdom. So many years the Britishers fought with the Sikh kingdom to occupy that. But in Punjab, Maharaja Ranjit Singh, he is the person, Maharaja Ranjit Singh. Okay, he was ruling the Punjab area, and he was a strong ruler and brave ruler. Okay, he fought with the Britishers bravely, and he didn't allow the Britishers to occupy his kingdom. Okay, the Ranjit Singh didn't allow the Britishers to occupy his kingdom. But after his death in 1839, that means in the year 1839, this Maharaja Ranjit Singh was died, and after his death, again the Britishers attacked on the Punjab. After fighting two long wars, finally they occupied the Punjab in the year 1849. Okay, after fighting two prolonged wars. That means prolonged means long wars. For a long period of time, they have done war. After those two long wars, in the year 1849, the Britishers occupied. Annexed means occupied the Punjab. Okay, Afghanistan 1842. Next Sindh 1843. Next Punjab 1849. In this way, slowly, the Britishers expanding their territories. Okay, and after this, see here. Already I told you in the previous video, the Britishers implemented one system, that is the doctrine of lapse. Doctrine of lapse. Okay, by this system, the Britishers annexed, that means occupied so many Indian kingdoms. Okay, among those Indian kingdoms, these are the important. Satara, they annexed this kingdom in 1848. Sambalpur in the year 1850. Udaipur in the year 1852. Nagpur in the year 1853. And Jhansi in the year 1854. Okay, in this way, the Britishers occupied all these Indian kingdoms, and they started their rule in these areas. Okay, and see here, after this Jhansi, finally in 1856, the company also took over Awadh. That means the Britishers occupied this Awadh also. Okay, Awadh is one of the kingdom which is present in our India. But here, the people of Awadh joined the great revolt that broke out in 1857. Here, the people of Awadh, they started one revolt during the year 1857 to oppose the Britishers, to get their kingdom back and to get the freedom from the Britishers. Okay? Next. See here. In this figure, you can observe how the British Empire expanded. Okay? In India, 1797. Okay? In 1797, see the British Empire, yellow color. The yellow color indicates the British Empire. Okay? Areas under the rule of British. In the year 1840, see how their empire, kingdoms expanded. The Britishers expanded their empire in our India. And see in 1857, most of the parts of India were occupied by the Britishers. Okay? Only some princely states were independent. They were not occupied by the Britishers. Okay? Once again observe carefully. See only yellow color. In the year 1797, how much area they occupied? And in the year 1840, how much they occupied? And in 1857, how much they occupied? Okay? Every year they are increasing their territories in our India. Next. So in this way, the British is expanding their territories in our India, and they started their rule in our India. Okay, so rule, that means administration. Okay, administration of British in our India. See here, British territories were broadly divided into administrative units. See here, the Britishers occupied so many areas, and those areas were classified or divided into mainly 3 administrative areas. Okay, na? Those administrative areas or units are called as presidencies. Okay, presidencies. Nowadays we are calling states. Okay, at that time no state, just presidencies. How many presidencies were there and what are those names? Let's see here. There were 3 presidencies in India. Okay, na? There were 3 presidencies in our India. Those are Bengal, Madras and Bombay. Bengal presidency, Madras presidency and Bombay presidency. Okay, in this figure you can observe. See here, Bengal means near the West Bengal, that area. This total area is called as Bengal presidency. Next, Madras presidency means here, Madras in Chennai, nowadays in Tamil Nadu. But this area, observe carefully, this area is called as Madras presidency. And next, Bombay presidency, that means near Bombay. This total, this west side, western part of India was called as Bombay presidency. Total 3 presidencies, Bengal presidency, Madras presidency and here Bombay presidency. 3 presidencies. And each presidency is ruled by governor. Okay, Bengal presidency was ruled by governor. Bombay presidency also ruled by governor, and Madras presidency also ruled by governor. The head of the each presidency is called as governor. Okay, and all these governors should work under one supreme authority, that is Governor General. Okay, all the governors should work under one supreme authority. The supreme authority was known as Governor General. Okay, you can see one example photo, Governor General. Okay, each presidency contains one governor for the administration purpose, and all those governors should work under the control of Governor General. Okay, next, see here. When Warren Hastings went back to England in 1785, that means Warren Hastings was one of the Governor General. Okay, while he is ruling in India, okay, that means especially he ruled Bengal area. Okay, he was the head of Bengal area. During the year 1785, he returned to England. Warren Hastings was one of the ruler of Bengal. Ruler means here governor. Okay, governor of Bengal. And in the year 1785, he returned to England. And in England, one case was filed for misgovernment of Bengal. That means somebody filed a case against Warren Hastings. That case is he didn't rule properly in Bengal. Okay, now his administration was not good in Bengal. So like that, one case was filed on Warren Hastings. Okay, so case filed. What is the case? Misgovernment of Bengal. That means not ruling properly. Okay, that one. On whom? Warren Hastings. Okay, and this led to an impeachment proceeding in the British Parliament that lasted 7 years. Here, impeachment proceeding. Impeachment proceeding means, for example, I am one of the ruler. Okay, I didn't rule properly. In my area, I didn't rule properly. Okay. Then the remaining members who elected me are the subordinates to me. They can file a case against me if I don't rule properly. Okay na? Then if most of the people, majority of the people agreed that I didn't rule properly, then they have the right to eliminate me from the post. Okay? If majority of the people accepts that or agrees that I didn't rule properly, then they have the right to eliminate me from the post. That is called as impeachment proceeding. Okay? 7 years that proceeding continued. Okay? 7 years continued. In which place? In British Parliament in England. So this is one small point regarding Warren Hastings. Okay? Next. From 1772, from this year, a new system of justice was established. So here justice means related to court. Okay? If any disputes happen in our country, then the government will give justice through court system. Okay? So in the year 1772, the British government implemented a new form of justice, new system of justice. See here, that justice, that system is, each district was to have 2 courts. According to this new system of 1772, the Britishers established 2 courts in each district. In each district, 2 courts were established. Okay? One court is criminal court, and this criminal court is also called as Fauzdari Adalat. Fauzdari Adalat. Adalat means court here. Okay? And the second court is civil court. That civil court is also called as Diwani Adalat. Okay? Criminal court, civil court. Criminal court other name Fauzdari Adalat. Civil court other name Diwani Adalat. Okay? Each district has how many courts? 2 courts. One is a criminal court, another one is civil court. In the criminal courts, the system is like this. See here, one collector will be present. Okay now, in every criminal court, one district collector will be present. Under the supervision of district collector, 2 persons will work in the court. 2 persons. Okay. One person is called as Khaji. Khaji means judge, to deliver the judgment. Okay. One person is Khaji. And the second person is Mufti. Mufti means a jurist of the Muslim community. Here jurist means the person who makes the laws. Jurist means the person who makes the laws. And this person should belong to Muslim community only. Okay? These 2 persons. He will make the laws and he will give the judgment. Okay? Next. Here one more thing. In the year 1773, a Regulating Act was implemented by the Britishers. Okay? Regulating Act was implemented by the Britishers. According to this Regulating Act, okay, here a new Supreme Court was established in Calcutta. According to this Regulating Act, one Supreme Court was established in Calcutta, and a court of appeal. Okay, a court of appeal, that means lower level courts. The Sardar Nizamat Adalat. Court of appeal means, for example, if you have any problem, then you want to go to the court, you want to appeal in the court. First of all, you will go to the lower level court. Na? That lower level court which will hear your appeal is called as court of appeal. Lower level court, and the higher level court is Supreme Court. Both were established in which place? Calcutta. Okay. According to which act? Regulating Act 1773. Okay. Next, see here. The principal figure in an Indian district was the collector. Principal figure means the important person in the district was district collector. For every district one collector will be there, and that collector is the important person. Okay, he has the full rights to rule in that district. See here, duties of collector: to collect revenue and taxes. Okay, to collect the revenues, taxes, and maintain law and order in the district with the help of judges and police officers. He has another important role is maintaining law and order in the district and with the help of judges and police officers. Okay, by taking their help, the district collector will maintain the law and order, that means peace. Next, his office. The collector's office is called as collectorate. Okay, collectorate means the office of the collector, and became the new center of power. That means this collectorate became as the new center for power. That means actually the total power lies in the hands of collector. The collector will be present in collectorate. So we can say that this collector is a place or center of power. Okay. So this is a small information regarding the British Empire, how they established their empire in our India, how they annexed different places, and which kind of systems they implemented in our India. Okay, about the